Hello, guys. Today I'm interviewing Darren Tetley. He's 21 wins, 4 defeats, with 9 big wins by knockout. And yeah, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Good to have you on the channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, buddy.
Yeah, anytime. My first question for you is, what's been your hardest fight so far?
My last one. My last one's probably the one where I've come out with the most damage. To be honest with you, most of my other fights, I boxed Samuel Antwi and had a pretty bad black eye. But yeah, the Dom Hunt fight was probably the hardest fight I've had. I come out with the most damage, and it was one of them fights where neither of us took a backward step. We just stood there and kind of threw boxing went out the window, and it was just a good old fight. So probably that one.
Yeah. Were you upset? Because I think it was for the Central Area title, and yeah, it was a. When it went to decision, did you think that you did enough to win?
No, if I'm honest with you, Sam, no, I didn't. I didn't perform and kind of stick to the plan we had going in, and my eyes started swelling after I think in the second round, and it was I couldn't seem to pull that trigger, so I just had to kind of I guess go back to what I like and just holding my feet and having a fight. But I thought the scorecards were a bit silly.
It was 97-93.
Yeah, I think the referee gave me 3 rounds in the whole fight. I think that was a bit rubbish, to be honest with you. But ultimately, I think to be fair, the right winner, the deserved winner, won, which I guess is the main thing, really.
Yeah, at least you had a good go, mate. I think it was in his hometown.
He was from Wakefield, and the fight was in Rotherham. But I think he was the home fighter. Like I don't know if it was his promoter whose show it was or whatever.
Did you bring many fans down from Bradford?
Yeah, I took I think I just under 100, I think, something like that. So a few of us went down. A few lads from work and that went down, and not normally the same faces that typically go watch me. To be honest with
you. Yeah. So you would say that was your hardest fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the fight itself, yeah, I had other fight where behind the scenes there was a lot more going on, and it was hard just to get in the ring. But as far as the actual fight goes, that was definitely the harder fight.
Yeah. Well, because we'll talk about the Echo fight now. So that originally you were meant to be fighting at your call, but you got a phone call, I think, I'm not sure how many days before the Fury card, that you were. How were you feeling that you were going to fight live and you were like the co-main event to Tyson Fury v White?
Yeah, so the run was on the Tuesday, and obviously the fight was the Saturday, and they didn't actually tell us that it was co-main event until the weigh-in. It was the weigh-in that I found out when I was actually going to be fighting. So obviously with the fight being brought forward, it was like a lot was going on, and kind of didn't. To be fair, it didn't quite have chance to settle in, to be honest, until kind of afterwards. Even when I was there and I was looking around the stadium and stuff. But it was more afterwards when I watched my ring walk back and stuff like that of what I've actually just done.
Yeah. So, did you get like a whole changing room to yourself as it was Wembley?
No, so Tyson was in his own. Dillian White was in his own, and then there was two of, I think, well, there was more, but then the two other changing rooms, obviously red corner was in one and blue corner was in the other one. Apart from obviously Tommy Fury and Isaac Lowe was in with Tyson, because obviously they're family and friends. So
Yeah,
other
yeah.
than that, I was just in with the blue corner. I think it was.
Oh, so a few of like the Journeymen and stuff.
Yeah, so there was me, um, I forgot Nick Ball,
Oh, Nick
who
Paul
beat
was
Isaac,
in there.
was in the same changing room. And then yeah, obviously a couple of the foreign journeymen was in there as well.
Yeah. Did you speak to them at all?
No, not really. A couple of the journeymen, I was saying hello to, and there was one guy who boxed. Is it Royston Barney Smith or Barney Royston Smith or something?
Yeah, Royston
Sugar Boy
Barnes.
Roy. Yeah, that's the one. The guy he boxed, his corner man, handed up, was a seconds in my corner, so I was speaking to him a little bit. I seen him in the town a bit earlier in the day, and we was chatting a little bit then.
Also, Constantine.
Was that I have no idea what his name was. Was that who it was?
Yeah, that's his name.
Oh, that's who it wasn't me. Yeah,
And Paul Mann was in the corner.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's
What
the
was
one.
he doing? Was he the cutsman?
I think you just have to have two in the corner. So he was handing up. He put the stool in and give me a drink. And held the bucket for me and stuff like that. I think it was just obviously helping Mick out, my trainer, and stuff like that. Luckily, I didn't get a cut, so that was kind of never needed.
Yeah. When it went to decision, did you think that you won that? I thought it was close.
Yeah, yeah. I thought the same. I didn't know if I won, but I I kind of I put it there this way. I felt better after that about possibly winning than I did the Dom Hunt fight.
Yeah.
So after the Esserman fight, I was kind of thinking, you know what, maybe I've just pulled this off. And then when I heard the scorecards, I knew I wasn't getting it by that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what one of them, Kieran McCann had it 111, 117. I mean, what's
Yeah,
he watching?
yeah, and that's the thing. And you know what, I can a bit like the Dom Hunt fight. You never know, obviously, how they're watching it. You know, the referee who scored the Dom Hunt fight could have had all them rounds really close, but just edged it to Dom, and then that way the score seems very wide. So you never really know what they're looking at. But I think the Esserman fight to only give me however many rounds it worked out, I think I think it was a bit stupid, to be honest with you. The same for the Dom Hunt fight and stuff, and I do mind losing, obviously, but if I lose and it's a close fight and I lose on a close scorecard, then that's boxing. I kind of got to get on with it. But when you lose and the scorecard doesn't really give you any credit for how the fight actually was, that's when it's a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, so to speak.
A bit sad, like it's a bit upsetting.
Yeah, because on paper then it doesn't really look like you was even in the fight. Do you know what I mean? It just looks like you got battered for 12 rounds or 10 rounds and you wasn't even competitive, when obviously that's not how the fights were going.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. But
like the Lee Taylor fight when I boxed. What's that, mate?
Was it a good experience boxing at Wembley?
Yeah, no matter what I ever done in boxing after that, no matter what title I won or what fights I was in, I don't think nothing will ever top that experience for me, or really top the feeling of what I had there. Especially because the fight was competitive as well, so it was obviously it was even better.
What were your thoughts on Echo v Antwi going into that fight? Who were you like? who did you think was going to win going into the fight?
I honestly thought Essendon were going to win.
Yeah,
And I honestly did. And listen, Ant was a good fight. Ant to fight, I just didn't turn up. You know,
were
it
you
was one of them.
hurt? Were you
No, I
hurt?
was nothing. Was I hurt?
Yeah, when he stopped you.
Yeah. You know, he landed some big shots, and I think it kind of made it worse that I kind of never settled in the fight. You know, well, in a little bit of like the Hunt fight, I just couldn't get going, and you know, obviously that kind of helped him, and but you know, yeah, the shots, especially when I was down, there was heavy shots, and you know, I think struggling to get into it, and then along with being hurt, didn't really help the cause moving forward in that fight. But I thought I was
Yeah,
coming into it. I thought I was coming into it a little bit, and then you know again I got caught with a big shot, and it kind of went downhill again.
yeah. What about when you beat Mason Cartwright? You took his O off him.
Yeah, that was one of them where going in, even in the fight, I wasn't really thinking about the fight. You know, I think it was 3 weeks before my granddad passed away. And then obviously I never mentioned it before the fight, but then the day of the weigh-in was actually his funeral. So I went to his funeral the morning of the weigh-in, and then
Before what?
after the
Wait, what weigh-in was this, mate? Sorry.
the Mason Cartwright one.
Oh, yeah.
So the morning I went to the funeral, and then straight from the crematorium, I drove straight to Leeds for the public weigh-in and done the weigh-in as well. So it was obviously that was hard, and my granddad, when the fight got announced, my granddad was well enough. He actually bought a ticket, so we thought he was actually going to go, and then obviously passed away a couple of weeks before. So that fight, like going back to what my hardest fight was, before the fight, that was the hardest moment of
Yeah.
that was the hardest part of my boxing career, going through that. So yeah, that's how that fight, and then obviously the fight was a good fight as well.
And you got the stoppage, which is good. I'm sure he's proud of you, what you're doing now, mate.
Yeah, so obviously that was. I think obviously Wembley will never top. Nothing will ever top Wembley more. But no matter what title I was to win moving forward, will never top the Cartwright fight, just because of, like I say, I've still had voicemails from my granddad saying, you know, we're gonna win that belt, and I've got text messages of where he was saying we're gonna win the belt, and he was gonna get in the ring after the fight and stuff. So obviously winning that title for him, you know, obviously that was dedicated to him. So again, no title will ever, no matter what I do moving forward, will never top winning that title either.
What title was it, mate?
WBO European it was.
That's a good belt to have, mate.
Yeah, so I've still got the belt, like, so I just keep that, and if I feel like if I have a bad day sparring, I just walk around the house with the belt on, and makes me feel hard again.
Yeah, that's the spirit, mate. Are you gonna have one more fight before the end of the year, or like is your last fight you've got bad cuts and bruises? Will you? I mean, are you gonna try and get out one more time this year, or?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure. I don't know what my plan moving forward is. Obviously, I'm still healing from the Hunt fight. So
Yeah.
if Dom watches this, thanks for that, Dom. You've made me in pain for a couple of weeks. So you know, I'm still healing and having a good rest. And you know, for me, I always I don't really enjoy training. And maybe not the Esserman fight, but definitely the Hunt fight.
Yeah.
It was so hard to get motivated to go to the gym. I just
Why was
couldn't be.
that?
I don't know, mate, and that's obviously something that now this rest, and I'm not saying any excuses. Don't
Yeah,
don't be. That's it. But more, give me more things to think about for after the fight. Like I say, I work full time, so then when I'm finished work and I've got to go to the training, and I'm just like, I'm on the way there thinking I can't be bothered, and then when I'm there, there's no enthusiasm. And like I said before the Hunt fight, nothing really was clicking. Even sparring, I I probably didn't. Out of the full camp, I probably sparred good twice. Uh, and I should have kind of seen it there and then that I probably shouldn't have boxed, to be honest with you. But and it was just hard to get to the gym and hard to be motivated and and obviously because the only thing that kind of got me through was just thinking about the fight. But now that's gone with, especially them being beat, it's given me. I've got more time now to think about what I actually want to do moving forward. And if I miss boxing, if I miss training, then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna fight again. If I don't, then we'll see where we are from there. But
yeah,
if I am gonna go back, it's probably a 30% chance that I'll fight before Christmas.
yeah. You're still in the title mix, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In a way, because the performances I've put on, I'll still be there or thereabouts. But I think going from obviously losing a Central Area title fight now, it's going to be a case of I've got to rebuild and see what fights get presented to me and stuff like that. And obviously then them plans will come obviously once I'm back in the gym and kind of
Yeah,
go from there. That makes sense.
yeah. So, what got you into boxing?
I watched Rocky 4 and told my mum and stepdad that I was going to do it, and they just laughed at me. And then here I am today, 90,000 fans later, boxing
Yeah,
it with
exactly.
kind of stuck to it. And I was told numerous times by many different people that I was never going to amount to anything. So it's kind of a middle finger up at them.
Yeah, you've proved all of them wrong, mate, and you should be proud of that.
Exactly, mate. And that's kind of, I think that spurred me on when I was younger, going through the amateur stages when I didn't want to box and I wanted to quit and stuff, and that kind of kept me pushing forward. So, yeah, that's always nice to know that I prove people wrong.
Yeah, that's always good. And my last question for you is, do you have any advice for someone who wants to be a pro boxer?
I think obviously make sure you got the right team around you. Trainer, manager, people you can trust, and people that when they, especially the business side of it, when they're saying something that's to do with the business side, that you 100% believe what they're saying. I don't know if a manager comes to you and says, I don't know, I've only been given $2,000 when you're meant to be getting three, but if he's telling you you've only been given two, you have to trust that. Not that that's happened to me, but do you know what I mean? Like, you have to have people that you can trust. And then and another, like, which kind of got me, that it's just because you're a professional boxer, it doesn't mean you're going to make a living out of it. So don't put all your eggs in one basket and not have a job and think I'm going to be a boxer, I'm going to earn a millionaire, and it doesn't work like that. I've had a full-time job all the way through my boxing career.
Yeah, because loads of boxers I've interviewed, they have other jobs as well.
Yeah, and a lot of people, especially young kids coming through now, just think, oh, well, I can just box full time, and it doesn't work like that. You've got to have.
Unless you went through like the Olympic rank, like AJ.
Yeah, and obviously you've got a big promoter that's willing to put money in, and massive sponsors that are going to pay you monthly and all that stuff. Fair enough, but for the average guy like myself, like, you've kind of got to understand the business side of it, that look, you're not
But
to
you
go.
but you fought on TV
Yeah, I fought on TV a couple of times.
quite a few times.
Yeah, and I can tell you now, I've not earned enough to live on, but nowhere near. Is the honest truth to that. Luckily, I've got a full-time job, so boxing's just something I do because I enjoy fighting. But yeah, they've got to have an understanding of the business and go in there understanding that it's not, you don't go from there and get to there. You know, it's up and down and blooming round and triangle and circle and all other directions you can go in before you get to, if you get to where you want to go.
Yeah. I just want to say a massive thank you for your time, mate, and keep working hard.
No problem, mate. Thank you for having me on. It's been fun, and yeah, you keep doing what you're doing as well.
Thank you, Darren.
Look after yourself, buddy.
Bye, mate. Thank you.
Bye, pal.